So let me go and my people. Let me get a towel. To our beautiful and amazing royals of Africa. Mbolo, my dear people. Mbolwani, 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 my dear people. Mbolo, Mbolo, Mbolo. This is your queen. Queen Ngningone II. She's back. Let me get in the chat. Let me see who are our beautiful and amazing royals out there. Hazel, I see you, beautiful. Let me get in the chat. Let me see who are our beautiful. All right. Okay, let me properly greet our beautiful and amazing royals of Africa in the chat. So, Manzambi Zola, Monkosi, I greet you. Hazel, my queen, I greet you. KB Chavo, I see you, my dear royal. Hi, your Heka, greetings. Tamara, ya, Mbolo, Mbolo, my dear sister. Brenda, Mbolo, my dear daughter and sister. I see you. All right. I think Kosi, greeting. Taki, greeting, my dear royal. I see you guys. Mbolwani, my people, it's good to have you back. Good to see you, my dear children. Rosa P, I see you entering the palace. Bright white. Thank you. I read the messages and the children want to see their queen. So I have to oblige. Because as you know, in our kingdoms, the people rule. The people are our bosses. Okay, so to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Let's catch up. Let's have a little chat. All right. So let me give you a feedback. I was scheduled to go to Addis Ababa for the summit, you know about, all right, about the return, about the continent of Africa finally thinking about exercising the right of our children to return. Okay, so I was contacted by an agency they call Alliance. Apparently, they're the one who did the groundwork for that date to even come about. So basically, they told me they got it, that they basically work to get to that point, to get an appointment, and they were determined to go in there. They said, don't worry, we got it. So Tata Nzambe pulled me to work on a different project, and which is the project about the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? Because as you know, we are currently in the season of healing. So in order for us to properly heal, we have to know our true identity. We can no longer beat about the bush, okay? The videos, I put the link because as you know, those who own the mass communication are the same people claiming to be us. So it's only understandable that they don't allow our content to be visible on their platform. You know, it's understandable. But we shouldn't let that stop you from acquiring the knowledge you need. Because in that video, basically, I give a thorough explanation of who are each one of the patriarchs and how related they are to us. So number one, you're going to learn their true name, their true authentic name in Kikongo, all right, which is really ancient Hebrew. Because if we are the ancient Hebrew, let's just say the languages we speak are ancient Hebrew. So basically, I was led to work on that project. And as I said in part one, it was the toughest project I've ever been called to work, because it was spirit led, and it took me back there, because question number one, our elders, you know, they brought me into the truth once I was found. They had to bring me into the truth. It's like, you're no longer a civilian, come here, sit down, type of thing. So you see, so I already knew who we were, but now it was question about finding our children, okay? Finding the location. I know that growing up, I mentioned in a previous video, my mother made it clear to us. They took us to visit our people in Colombia, Barranquilla in particular. And my sister made a comment. She said, oh, the Black Colombians are cute. I mean, my mom got so upset. From a young age, she put in our head that the people you see in these places are not native of these places. They are our people. So even when you talk about them, never give them away. Say, oh, these Colombian or these American. No. By just doing that, you're giving them away. They are our people. So the hardest part was to bring the historical evidence that these are our people. So this project, you know, Tata Nzambe and of course our deserving ancestors, they led me to it. And part two is coming up, is going to be published soon. I'm giving you about maybe 2 more days just to go ahead and digest the content in part one. And then I will go ahead and, you know, publish the destinations, the locations, because you will be shocked to believe that as much as, you know, the effort was there to make sure that we get completely lost, but they didn't lose us because it was so easy to find a trace of our people. You know, it was so easy. Tata Nzambe told me it's in our names. Anything related to us is in our names. So with that, you were able to find, by listening to the oral narration of our history, I came across many cities that once stood at home, but they make mention of them in the oral narrations, but the cities are no longer there. And Tata Zambe pointed me exactly, like these cities that once stood home, when these people went and took our people, not only they took the people, they took the names of the cities with them and planted them everywhere. They dumped our people. So it was mind blowing. It was breathtaking. In some cases, some of you won't even need to do like a DNA test if you have the port of entry of your original ancestor. If, for example, in your lineage, it says that, let's say your grandmother and her mother, everybody in your family has been saying that you're from Louisville, for example, and in Louisville, we found Bantu named cities. Know that your ancestors that were brought there came from that place at home. It was so easy to kind of match you guys. So part two is coming up. It's very liberating because it's one thing to know something, but it's something completely different to actually come forward with the historical evidence that is like beyond any lies. Because I mean, the lies, we heard the lies. We've been consuming the lie. And even you could see the lie they put out there was that only Judah was taken into captivity. But in that video, you will see that not Judah, not only Judah, in fact, all of them, they have landmark for each one. Everybody was attacked. But I heard Elizabeth, her ancestor, wrote a Bible in which he called you guys the outcast, the banished, the this, and that. These are the same people who came and pull you out of your homeland. They can talk about Judah. Judah was attacked by the Judah kingdom, where is the current Cameroon? The current Cameroon was attacked on north, south, east, west. This is how it was. In the north, they had British. You know, in the south, they had France and Belgium. In the east, they had German. This is how they scattered. This is how they scattered Judah, but they have the audacity to come and say that, oh, the outcast of Judah. So you will see all these lies. Everything is there, and it's gonna be exposed. None of us will have a reason to feel lost, to feel abandoned. You have to understand the identity. Many of us, I saw some of our ugly kids the other night, a little while back. Because you know, since we have internet, some people feel that they should go public with their disgustingness. Our elders teach us that, you know, when you see someone who's like very ugly or just unattractive or just flat, don't feel sorry for them because their outside always reflect their inside. Some people are just dead nasty. Okay, I saw one of our useless kid out there making a whole video discussing, you know, because this is how they do. These people, the masters, have beat to the core. They don't know how to live at peace with anybody. Even among themselves, it's war. You bring them around your company, they destroy it. You bring them around your family, they scatter your family. They have that energy. Unfortunately, you know, not everybody was able to make it. But I want you guys to know that among our group, because the time has come for Tata Zambe to gather us, you know. So among our group, if you guys want, you can go to Genesis, because that's what the elders do. Whenever I have a question, they say the very little they allow us to have, which is kind of very close to the original scroll, is the Old Testament. We rarely mess with the New, because we know this is where they introduced the white Jesus. This is where they introduced the notion of slave, that you have to obey your master and all that nonsense they put in there. But in the book of Genesis, I believe it's chapter 49, when our ancestor Yakuba is blessing the children, what did he say when it comes to Levi and Simeon? He said their violence, he cursed their violence, he cursed their anger. And what did he say? He said he will disperse them from among us. I hope you guys remember that part. I think it's Genesis 49, I believe 5 to 7 or something like that. What he said, but Simeon and Levi, you know, their sword is a sword of violence. So they speak violence, you know, when they can't hurt somebody with hands, they use words. So I want my children to understand that we have the descendant of those two who are scheduled to be parted from us. It says in there, just like it says in the Bible that Israel shall fall by the sword. The prophecy about the history of our people, it's in the Bible. But we have some sick, disturbed individual, especially since I came out as a Crown Royal activist. They come with their stupid nonsense talking about Africa should be held responsible for paying reparation. Those of them, because we have the same spirit here, people who constantly exploit our demise. These people, they're accused of having sold them because their masters told them. These people are the direct descendant of these kingdom the European went and ransacked. For those of you who still don't know, the British crown is claiming your crown. I am Manasseh. I'm a child of Manasseh. Okay? We still got our stuff. The British crown is running around claiming they are Judah. Because why? They murdered the Judah kings. Judah kingdom were about 3 kingdoms, because as Satan Zambe multiplied us in number, he multiplied our crowns. For those of you who want to know how Satan Zambe went about multiplying our crown, the perfect example is when the ancestor Yakuba is blessing the children. To the house of Joseph, he gave 2 crowns. Okay? So we got 2 kingdoms there. And they will never mention our ancestor as kings, because they planned all along to make us slaves. But Yakuba can be the king, can be the father of the king of Israel, who's Judah, if Yakuba is not make a king himself before that. We come from a God of order. Okay? So if in that effort of, you know, exposing the truth, some of our children are bound to come around me with that nastiness. Oh, Africa have to be held responsible. They had one of their Akata brother. I won't mention his name. It wasn't worth catching his name. He's now going to Congress to go and fight for the white man's rights. He says that the white men are the most discriminated right now. One of their Akata brother, they're not talking about that, because all the revolts that were trying to take place in America, we had people like that to come around. They will use anything. My children, beware of those. They are cursed. Is in the Bible that of the 12 tribes, Levi and Simeon, because they killed people, it's in there. Their father cursed them. Okay? And what did Satan Zambe say? Satan Zambe said, even if we refuse, yes, they did. Satan Zambe said, even if we refuse to praise him, to worship him, he will make other human beings out of stones in the desert. Basically, he doesn't need us, but us in the contrary, we do. So when these slaves bring their nastiness on the internet, because I've been living in this country for what, 24 years now, I never seen them, any of them, getting out, getting their raggedy looking self to go open up a topic about Africa being held responsible for slavery. It's like the loss we suffer is being disregarded. My family was literally wiped out. We have 11 generations of kings. Their children, except us, we're the only remaining in that royal family. When we have a wedding, we can't even get 200 people together like most families. We're dealing with that loss, and they get on my face with their nonsense. I'm just going to have to tell them what my mother told me when I was a little girl. You know, when we were in France, they had these French Africans that were captured by the French who were equally stupid, like those we deal with here. They used to call us, all kind of names. Oh, you stink, you do this, you do that. You know, their master prepped them so well to use them as a weapon against their own people. My mother used to tell us to tell them, only a stupid African get captured in his own jungle to begin with, okay? My mother also told us that in some cases, captivity was inevitable, but you had to remain free in your mind. Kunta Kinte showed you. He didn't forget where he came from. So, our cases, we had to be put into sleep to forget about who we are, because even knowing who we were was dangerous. So now Tata Nzambe is awakening us. Everything we need to know, anything we need to find out, my dear children, just ask and he reveals it to you. You know? So when they bring that nastiness around us, it is important that you're strong in your mind. We're dealing with a group of people who have been outcasted from among us and they don't even know it. Everybody claim that they have a root in Africa. Every human being in this world now knows that the original human being was found in Africa. Therefore, they all come from, but except some Negroes we have in America, hateful as hell. You know why Nigeria has the largest population? These papas and mamas in Nigerian coast, when captured, do you know what they used to do? They used to kill themselves when they can't kill the white men. They used to pass a message among them that, okay, now we couldn't sink the ship, okay, but when we get there, come about this amount of days, we all kill ourselves. And very quickly they left them alone. Okay? I have ancestor, our king number 8, he was already king because his father got already murdered. He took over. He led the people into the battle. And guess what happened? He got captured. They captured all his sons, but he wasn't officially the king. We still have him on our chart as the king. If you go to Vimeo, I believe it's volume 2 where I share my chart, he's still listed. And at that point, he appointed a 14-year-old, his son. They got everybody. He said, what do I leave? I stay behind for? I'm going in. His last word on our land was, as Tata Nzambe said, when the time he has set has come, we will be waiting on the other side. So that's why I'm on your faces, because he's prophesied that him, his descendants are somewhere there with his brother's descendant, because the other tribe, they fell around the same time as us. If your DNA say you are Galua, if your DNA say you Punu, if your DNA say you Minchogo, if your DNA say you Niene, you Arongo, you Fang, you fought. The evidence is on Gabon coast. There's no slave castle. They didn't play us like that. Who were they going to hire to build a castle? Because they didn't find anybody on our land who could not deal with them. And I'm tired of defending my forefathers' honors. Now, to the bastards out there, you saw my post. We calling judgment of God on you. The Bible is itself, not the Bible your masters gave you. The real Bible says honor your ancestors so that your days shall be long on earth. But since the war was about our identity, they murdered our fathers to enslave us so they could take that place of father and mother in our lives. And they replaced it with father and mother. Ask any elder. So when you folks go out there with your lousy mouth, with your funny looking self, you are cursing yourself. Because what this queen does, I call on the blood that was shed. I'm like, quiet these lips quick and fast. Let them feel you roaring on the other side. Okay? The lousy ones, they come with their little puffy, stupid hair, talking about something they have no business talking because they know the people are hurting. But just like hurt people, you sitting there couldn't keep your physical body free, nor your mind. You're in no position to call anybody out. Go get your reparation from the people who raped your father, your mother, and your fathers and your brothers. One of your brothers is going to defend the white man. He's going way to Congress. Another one declared Confederate States a holiday. These are Akata people. They don't talk about it. One of their little activists, the little bitty girl, the first time I saw her, it was on CNN. That girl said on the world stage, who was it, Cameron something, is just like these people who sold us, the boat that brought us had black people, just like the black people, since she got Soros money. I found a live, she was saying, well, it doesn't matter where you get the money from, even George Soros, if he chooses to invest in my business, these kind of people. Now they're jumping around with their titties out, they got a new set of titties, but they come around and annoy us. Those of us that Tanzambe sent to set his captive free. Be careful. Let me catch another one of you making one of these stupid videos. You haven't been sold. You will be sold. Play with me, idiot. So, to my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, I had to address it. I don't come publicly for the lost ones out there to take aims at me. I don't do that. So as much as they have to say, because they only fight when they can insult another black person, they don't know how to throw a punch at whomever really hurt them. That's the sadness, about our people. But enough with these losers. They can come back with more of their stupid topics. The Bible tells us, because why they feel this way, the Bible said they're hateful. Their anger was cursed. This has nothing to do with it. And Tatan Zambe said he will part them from Israel. Because you see, the evil they did to my ancestor, Joseph, they sold him. And that evil, since we were all living together, we all paid, including the very own same children of Joseph paid. They also got picked up. I found many places in America with our people, Manasseh people, everywhere, all the way to Panama, all the way to Dominican Republic. These people didn't break their neck. They just took the name from back at home with the people and carry everything to their country easy. Okay? So those who want to be out there, be careful who you follow. We are true Israel. And those who don't believe us, where's that piece of paper? The blessings, the promises God made to Israel are there. He's not a God who lies. All he's asking is for us to acknowledge who we are, to obey his commands, his mandate, and we become these magical human beings. That's all he's asked from us. And as I sit in my power, I use all the tools that power brings. So for those of you who are lost out there, who think this screen gonna be a punching ball, because nobody is telling this child of Manasseh, nobody. You think the first slavery was bad? You will see what happened to you should you allow anything to happen to me in this country. You haven't seen slavery, you will see it. So be careful. So, my dear children, you have to understand that among us, there's a purging which is already taking place. Okay? So when you see people going hard, we're not from Africa, let them be. If you feel you're from Africa, if you dream with our animals, you dream with a lion, know that your father was lion. You know, your father was the king. Because those who see lions in their dream, those who see our cats, it means that there's a crown in your family. These are our pets. Those who dream with ancestors that don't know, giving them things. You are somebody. Somebody on the other side is claiming you, pulling you out of where you are, pulling you out of the land of captivity. Your land of captivity will never be your promised land. Okay? So it is important that we hear, it is important that we are taught our history from our own people. Okay? Because those of you who have watched part one, volume A, B, and C, there's a part there where I mentioned there's a place called Ebolowa, which in our language literally means the land of the Hebrew. But do you know what the colonizer chose to translate it as in our history book? They translate it as rotten chimpanzee. they said, please go and watch the video. All the patriarchs were kings. That's what makes us, all of us, royalty. Okay? All the patriarchs were king, but the one who is to be the king among us, the one the scepter was never going to leave the presence of, is our lion, Judah. Okay? So not only Judah was picked up, everybody got picked up, but the people I had a little trouble finding were the two tribes, Judah and Gad, Yagada and Yehuda. Yehuda, why? Because he's our king. He's the one who's scheduled to bring back God's kingdom on earth. Of course, they have to hide that one. And of course, our bad ass guy, Gada. This is our military. They have the anointing to win wars. They are the ones who are supposed to keep us safe. So I found all of them under this guy's name, but the spirit of Tatanzambe said this is where they have them, and so on and so on. Yes, you need to know your true name. And that will be part of the return, renaming our children. We must rename each one of you who's gonna come home. It is important. Yeah, no more fake tribe chart. These people are our people. So there were cases where a king, Tatan Zambe, would put in his heart that in your house you have 3 sons or 3 daughters, you know, king worthy. So from those 3 or 2, make 3 kingdoms out of them. This is how we multiply. So the kingdoms they went and destroyed in Africa are no different than those 12 because all those kingdoms came from those 12. Okay? KB Chavo, you will know which tribe you come from. You will. It's very thorough. Our team, we compiled a master list in which we have listed all the cities that we know were once at home that are no longer there, but that just happened to pop here. Some of them, they didn't even bother. They kept the Kikongo name and everything. Astonishing. Crazy. To those who think that their masters are so smart, their masters are so ingenious, no, a thief never creates anything. I know some of you are getting excited. Oh, chances are Jerusalem is here. No, it's a copy. Just like they carried the obelisk and all the rest of the art, they carried the people out of Africa, they carried the cities out of Africa, they carried everything out of Africa. Okay, my people. KB Chabo said, my father told me that we come from the Fulani people. The oral history he told me is that they migrated from Egypt into Mali and Senegal. The Fulani are even found in Nigeria. Nigeria has the Fulani. The land of Judah is Central Africa. You will see it in the video. There's an ancient map. They don't have this map. You can't find them online, but I told you that I was given access to top secret, so I shared it in the video. Written big, Judah, Yehuda, the place they call Ethiopia, and they took Ethiopia. They moved to the east. They took Sudan. They moved to the east. For a long time, they were making us believe that our brothers in West Africa were not Hebrews. They were not Bantus, okay? Because we adopted the name Bantu when Tatan Zambia established us in the Promised Land, and he gave us crown and wealth and mandate. We the ones who messed up. So when I tell you that that division is our killer, the division led us in slavery. The division led us in captivity. Because truth be told, had we united like Tatan Zambia had asked us to unite, guns or no gun, in numbers, they couldn't have overtaken us. So when you see some of us out there barking loud and clear, we different people, yes, we are covenanted, you are no longer. Your lineages have been cut off because of your excessive anger, your excessive violence, your excessive hatred. We're not the one making up these words. It's in the Bible. Our ancestors said that would be your fate. So when you see people acting up, trying so hard to divide us, hey, we're not from Africa. Know that these are the ones. Like if you guys watch the video of Simayon, right? The Sima lady, they became Sima people, outcasts. And it's not our making, it's in the Bible. Hold it upright. Don't hold it upside down. Don't just read what you want to read. Okay? Coming around me with that nastiness. These clowns been on YouTube forever. You never heard them talk about Africa being held liable for blah, blah, because they like to provoke. They like their masters, right? I remember during the Trump era, there was this cop, they called a 911 call. They said the suspect was white, but he had already zeroed in on a black guy and he was holding him, handcuffing him. He didn't care. He's like, I left my house that I'm going to ruin a black person's life today. So he doesn't, I don't care what the dispatch said. That's the spirit these people have. No matter what evidence you bring to them, they want to persecute their own, or they think they're persecuting themselves. They hate themselves so much. And it's not Queen Ngningone making it up. It's in the Bible. Go to chapter 49, Genesis. You will see where the ancestor Yakuba cursed two lineages. And these are the one we deal with. They go and marry anything but black. And then they form a little group. They become a cultic. That's what we call a cult. You know, the white woman is telling them, you ain't going to Africa. So now, they don't want to be left alone. So they're gathering people, talking crazy about Africa. It's sickening. It makes me sick. So my children, this is what it is. A lot of them will come. We have a son out there. Gosh, sometimes I feel sorry, but you know, when you look at people, I don't see the features. And me as a crown queen, I don't see the feature. I see the spirit behind, you know. We have a son out there, he needs to find his root, you know. He's a son of a king. I see it in him. And he's fighting. You know, he has his other people in America sending him messages, so you need to join this team. We don't need these people. And he's there really pouring his heart, debating and showing, trying to. I tell that son of ours, don't break your neck. Satan Zambe said a good portion of them are outcasted. They will do it to themselves. They will resent us because when we used to all live together, we paid for the nonsense they were doing, their wickedness. They love to prey on the weak one. You see a bunch of them like that. We are who we are. Okay? We are who we are. That spirit is there. It's in the Bible. They've been problematic. Like we call them the we call them the loveless children of Yaleona. Some of them are really loveless, hateful, and it's genetic. So I look at them, I see them for who they are, and I'm telling them none of them will sell this daughter of Manasseh, granddaughter of Joseph. It won't happen. Last time you guys tried that nonsense, what happened? You guys didn't even kill him, but you see the suffering we went through. Now try again. Now try again. Try this time again. Nonsense. Whomever is dividing us is dividing the house of Israel. And we call it divine justice on them, my royals. Okay, let's see who's there. Let me see our beautiful people out there. So, yes, Brenda said the victim has to pay for being victimized. Okay, their masters told them we sold them. No, the trade was among the nation. Once they conquer a land, they open a store. So their friends come and buy slaves from wherever they stole people's land. That's the slave they're talking about. But they fix their rubbish mouth and they're very unattractive. They be like so plain. You look at the person, when you scan them spiritually, you don't see anybody standing by there, but they're out there causing havoc, asking for it. Nonsense. Come again with your stupid topics, because the people you trample on are my fathers. I'm not a bastard like you. Okay? My ancestor, 14-year-old, he led the people into hiding. And that's who I come from. So your fault, you got caught in your own jungle and you couldn't even save your mind. Rubbish. Honor your ancestor. It doesn't say that we worship them, we honor them, we acknowledge them. They came before. Even in this project to find our lost children, who do you think I called on? I called on my ancestor who accompanied them. I called on his friends, the other kings. Show me where they have our children. And it was easy. So part 2 is coming up. It is important, my dear children, that we heal. Okay, we must heal. You are chosen to come to know the truth. You know, not everybody. Some people, some souls are set aside. It's already set aside, you know. Their ancestors have burned too many bridges. They have destroyed too many people. And they wonder why they have that thing to just be pulled by anything which is a lie. You know, it's like something something is wrong with you. But as a proud daughter of my forefathers, I'm asking them to shut the hell up. They're not worth a penny for the richest guy on earth at that time to sell them. Those who see opportunity in our demise after the king has fallen is an open town. Okay, whatever they did is whatever they did, but no one in authority, divinely chosen by God, did that nonsense. We need to have more respect for the people we come from. So when you go out there, you have to show them you know your history. Because when you go there and repeat the same lie, they just giggle, they just look at each other. They talk about reparation, they don't even know nothing about who they are yet. Go work, more homework, and they crack that little whip. And here they go find somebody else to abuse. Edom of Africa has to be held responsible. Who's good and perfect? Esau and Edom and Ishmael robbed and continue to rob Jacob in Africa. Yes, that's a truth. That's a truth. But you know what, my children? The reason why they control the media and everything, so they could control the narrative, you know. But where they got it wrong is they believe that, you know, they practice all these law of attraction gimmicks. They think that by believing a lie, it actually become reality. By pretending you are Israel, and then the blessings and the protection of Israel, Satan Zambe promised them going to be theirs. No, it doesn't work like that. Not when you acquire something through a theft, through murder, through rape, through all these things. My children, it doesn't work like that. Okay, so those same thing, the insanity of the master, you can see it is pressed down all the way down to their slaves. The slaves think by thinking that, you know, they're from here, by thinking that, you know, this is Jerusalem, that all of the sudden they're going to grant them the status of, you know, protective, you know, species they should have. It's insanity. And my children, it's insanity and they need to stop. It's painful to watch. The Messiah comes from Judah, not Levi, Judah. Okay? The Judah kingdoms at home were completely, I mean, they don't have a survivor on the continent, but we know the descendants are everywhere. And I'm sick and tired of seeing our children being boastful out there over life. I found Judah everywhere. I found Judah in Brazil. I found Judah in America. I found Judah in Mexico. I found Judah in Bolivia. I found Judah in Venezuela. I found Judah in everywhere. So all of us are royals, by the way, because it takes a king to breed a king. Our elders tell us that Yakuba was made a king before Judah was born. So from there, all of us are royal, but the one who's to be the king among us is Judah. Okay? And Judah was scattered everywhere just like the other ones. So, but the people who did that, they knew that at some point, you know, people will awaken. Some people will awaken. So they were already preparing for the next lie. The next lie is you don't need to go anywhere. This is Jerusalem. Forget Africa. The slave trade never happened. I saw that son of ours. He was like some people say, where are the sheep? Where are the boats? Ask your master, where are their boats? Because the minute you found their boat, our boat gonna be right behind theirs. When the master tells you where he put his boat, you're gonna find your boat behind his. Oh God. Yeah. They have to understand, we the children of the Most High, we are chosen. Let me tell you what makes you chosen. What makes us chosen is like no matter what we went through, we didn't lose the God in us. We didn't lose the ability to, from the depth of our soul, identify truth from lies. No matter what the pain and betrayal other people may have put us through, we never lost the ability to love and to give love another chance and to trust somebody again. and to give the same people who have burned you a chance again. We didn't lose this virtue. That's why we chosen. That's why Tatan Zambe talked to us. That's why Tatan Zambe and the deserving ancestors visit us in dreams. That's why they encourage us with missions. Because we stayed, we remain these true children of the Most High. Okay? That's why we chosen. And they found it weird that among us, there are still people who root hard for Africa, who believe that there's another side of the story they never heard, and who are so ready and open to listen to the other side of the story. There are still some of you who out there look at your children and say, I love you. But how am I able to love you if the people I came from never loved me? Because they believe the lie of the master, but no. The same people who were being born then are the same people being born now. So if you start believing the metaphors in the Bible, that the story of Jonah, that he was a fish, a fish, a fish, a fish swallowed Jonah. Mm? And when the fish swallowed Jonah, and then the fish, fed Jonah again. So I had the opportunity to ask our elders what was that story about. Our elders say no, since they had to demonize everything Tatan Zambe taught our ancestor. That was the medicine Tatan Zambe was telling Jonah. Jonah was supposed to go to that city, that town, and talk to the people, but he was nervous that he was not going to be listened to. So Tatan Zambe told him to go and take rest at a tree. And after he's done resting, he takes from the bark of that tree, chew it. He will anoint his mouth so that when he speaks to the people, they be receptive of his message. That was what he was about, but they were in the business of getting us lost, of making us believe that we shouldn't even use nature to heal ourselves. Of course, they came with the metaphor of a fish. They tried to really get us lost. They tried, but they missed. Because Tatan Zambe didn't say that the children of Israel will get lost forever. No. He said he will gather us at some point. He said he will heal us, he will gather us and take us back to the land he gave to our ancestors. So it's a mandate. Those who want to do otherwise, they have their own agenda. Ask them. Does the white woman you married to, or the Mexican male, or the whatever Asian woman you married to, doesn't want you to move to Africa? Because that's usually the real reason. These guys who come out and talk about these things, you look at them, they're married to someone who's not one of us. And I can speak because my own brother falls in that category. That's why my father cut him off his will. Because our people say when you sleep with a man's wife, you sleep with a man's daughter, you under that man's power spiritually. And my father was like, when I'm no longer, she's going to come around and divide my house. That's how they roll. Wherever they go, they bring division. We told, no, Papa, you too much. Papa's gone, Mama's gone. I haven't seen my brother in years. And even everything my mom willed to him. He signed it off, 2 cousins to run because his wife doesn't want to go to Africa. But they love some black men, but they don't want to hang around their people. They don't want to go where they come from. This is the real problem. Investigate these guys that are there promoting, we from here, with this and that. Investigate them, and you will find the real reason behind. Okay? So my children, time to heal. Okay, I know it was very difficult to finish that project. It was a retreat. I had to spiritually retreat for that because Tatan Zambe came through. Many of you guys ancestors came through. They helped. They came. No, my queen, they have us at such and such place. They wake me up in the middle of the night. I go and look up the place. Boom. And there they are, be like, wow, we serve a living God, believe it. Okay, Chabo, you will know which tribe you come from. Which city are you from? K Chabo, KB Chabo. The Bible is not complete. I agree. There's a lot of omissions. Some of them were intentional, but if you know, now that you know, not if, now that you know the reason behind it, it's understandable. Why wouldn't they do that? Of course. But they thought that the evil they were doing was going to benefit them. That's why I can't say enough. Our children, you need to detoxify, let go of hatred, let go of jealousy, let go of envy from anybody of any kind. Tatan Zambe said it's in the book. He said how he's going to deal with the people who wronged us. Get it out of your mind. He's taking care of it. When you look around, even the decision they're making, they play to his hand. It's just like when I did part 2, they couldn't go and hide such important group of people without the sun bearing them witness, without the moon bearing them witness if they did that at night. What does it mean? He was going to leave traces because we're important people. And Tatan Zambe never told them they're going to have a slave forever. Never. So that's why at some point, you know, they had to cut us loose. And just like they cut us loose from slavery, they're going to have to let us go. Because if they don't, he's going to pound on them. I mean, our God is with a finger. He shakes something a little bit. Gosh, I love him so much. He's so powerful. You have no idea. Yes, my dear children. So you guys like the live chat? I've been receiving the messages. Where is our queen? Your queen was in retreat. Okay, I put this package. It is important that we learn the blessing attached to each one of us. If you're from the tribe of Levi, of course, it's priesthood, praise and worship. Stop hanging around Simeon. Simeon is known to be very violent, vulgar, cruel. And he got many children out there because our elders tell us that Simeon used to spread his seed. Yes, and his descendants, same thing. So if you from one of the house of Joseph, the house of Joseph, I've seen some of our children claiming the Kemetic, they're from the Kemet. And I also saw another group of some of our children mocking them. They call them, oh, the Egyptian, or they think the Egyptian. My children, in this time of awakening, people will not be drawn to things that are foreign to them. Keep this in mind. You are drawn to Bantu spirituality, Bantu history, Bantu because you are a Bantu Israelite, because you are one of the original people. Okay? Now, the lineages have been cast out or whatever, they will not have a natural pull. So when you see our children out there saying they Kemetic, then leave them alone, because we have an Egyptian ancestor. Her name was Asina. Okay? So I see a lot of people trashing Egypt. Egypt kept us alive when starvation was killing everybody else. Where did we find food? It was in Egypt. Okay? not because the masters, after ransacking it, they made it the place of all plague or whatever. We keep our mouth shut. We have an Egyptian ancestor, the house of Joseph, those of Ephraim and Manasseh. Me, in the house of Ephraim, we were birthed by an Egyptian woman who fed you folks when you were hungry. Let's show some respect around here. And if you have some children who are spiritually called to that spirituality, get out of their way. We do have blood in Egypt. Okay? So we have to be tolerant. We have to allow other people to go for what they believe. You don't know who is pulling them on that side. So, and even you will see when you go to Genesis 49, this is the homework. Our beautiful royals who tune in to chat with Marie Frank, where have you been? Your queen was in retreat. I was working on a project called the 12 Tribes of Israel in Africa. So find it in the link in the description box below. You will have the full. I introduce our forefathers, their name, the real meaning of their names, the blessings associated to each one of the houses, and in some cases, the curses, and where they have them in the diaspora, which really is the core of my mission, because our house, the Manasseh house, as usual, the house of Joseph, has to come to the rescue. Our house is the house with the mission of helping gathering our people. So it was easy, my children. Tatan Zambe, our deserving ancestor, amen, they came through. They literally kidnapped me for almost a whole month, not to say two, because I started working already a while before I really went in seclusion to focus. Okay? So everything is there. We are no longer lost. Prophecy fulfilled. That which is lost, it is now found. Okay? Okay, my beautiful. So let's wrap it up. You guys want the live chat? Your queen has time. We're gonna do it. So just detox. Write down a list of paper. Anger, jealousy, hatred is not. We can't have these feelings and expect and hope to have a connection with the Most High. We too magical to let it go to waste with just filthy feelings, just come around looking for somebody to upset, right? My 11 kings and their children wiped out. I call their blood on the stupid mouth. Let them be shot forever. These are my fathers you poking. Since yours couldn't defend you, mine, 14 years old, he led the people to hide in the wood. That's why we are having this conversation today. That's why one of us is coming from home to tell you what's what. And nobody's gonna sell this child of Manasseh. Nobody gonna sell this granddaughter of Joseph. See what happened to y'all the first time you try. We haven't learned. We still go after each other for no reason. Kelly, I see my daughter there. Kelly, hey. Okay, my beautiful and amazing royals of Africa, be strong. You will have these devil agents. They're among us. Remember, the Haitian Revolution was successful because they knew what to do first. They took care of their Uncle Tom, their mulattoes, those who were compromising their welfare. They took care of them first. Okay? So we are not talking about unlifing anybody. Those of us pouring division out there, if you're chosen one, stay away from them. Africa is where we come from. Africa is where we must head back to. Okay? Those occultists who want to form a little colony like Jim Jones did and went and killed people in the jungle, that's their business. And if your soul, you have nobody, frankly, since you believe that your own ancestor killed you, did whatever. You don't have any ancestor standing by you. You don't have any ancestor bringing anybody of meaning in your experiences because they already threw you away. So follow your master. You right? Because these royals of Africa, anybody seeking to do us harm in this time, let me tell you exactly what's coming. Our people say when you cause the king or queen to die, the people who did that, their body serve as cushion of the body of the king in the grave, right? It means that there's going to be enough people that's going to make you, the same people who did it, pay, right? But in America, we're surrounded by royals. And I can tell you that whether you believe it or not, a lot of our kings used to have many, many kids. Many of them are walking around. Many of them are crowned, meaning if the father didn't die back at home, if they didn't wipe the royal family back at home, there would be king today sitting on a throne somewhere. They're there. Remember what I told you? Tatan Zambe said that the covenant is everlasting. As long as we walk this earth, as long as we have babies, the covenant is in full effect. So we have kings around us. So my dear chosen one, those seeking your demise, just sit back and watch. That's why you need to purify. So you decree stuff, you decree chaos in their lives. You said, Tata, I didn't do anything. Look at them coming after me. I risk it all, stick my neck out to awaken my brothers and sisters. Look at them, deal with them. Quiet those lips. Give them a problem of a magnitude that they're going to forget about me. And it happens just like magic. Okay, my dear children, enough for tonight. So good. If you want, we can do this again tomorrow. So it's important that you detox. Okay, start getting in the mindset. And I am yet to hear from Alliance. I want to know the outcome of the meetings they had. But all I can tell you right now, don't look left, don't look right, focus, heal. Okay, click on the description box below, go and watch the video. I give you guys guidance on how you can start building your tree. We will not be lost forever, my children. So with the living and with the record, you can have access. Try to see as far behind as you can. And when you watch the video about the location in the diaspora, you might just be connected to the name of the village your people come from, or the name of the city, or the name of is right there. Okay? So be at peace. You are found. You are no longer a mystery. I can point out the people in such and such city, the African that were brought there are from this tribe. That's what that video is going to allow you to do. Okay, my lovely. So as usual, peace in your home, my children, peace. Keep peace at home. So Tatan Zambe can connect, so Tatan Zambe can guide you. Don't believe anything people say, even me. Go to bed, ask Tatan Zambe, did what Queen Ngningone say is true. But you have to have peace in your heart in order for him to be able to talk to you. Okay? So maintain peace. Run away from toxicity. All right? Love in your heart. Don't give up on love. Always love. It's a key ingredient to our magic. To all my family. So we do this tomorrow again, okay? I have time for my people. So peace, love, and unity, for without which we are done. The new Israel must awaken. Awaken. Up, my people, up. All right? I love you guys. Mwah. Until next time.